Performances by Heat, Fabulous 68, and CNB. November 26th, you can be the winner. Proceeds fund Rotary Central Community Projects. Rotary Central NPO number 232. Rotary, all the good you imagine.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331.
Talk Today is proudly brought to you by Pirates Fest 2022. Stay in the know. Get the full event lineup at piratesfestcayman.com.
And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village. Convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays.
Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thanks for joining us. It's a wet, wonderful Wednesday. Hey, it's going to rain on the outside if you're not careful. It's going to rain on the inside, but that's not the R-A-I-N. I want to invite you to be a part of a discussion in the excellent company. Ms. Tisha Conley to start us off. 1 o'clock, Louise Moxon, and somewhere in between, hopefully Ms. Stephanie Dos Santos will come in and grace us with her presence as well. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255. Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. And thanks to Ms. Tisha Conley. If I might say, there are almost an innumerable number of our civil servants who tirelessly labor. I don't want to say slave because they say, that's what a civil servant is, but dedicated, to our country and its endeavors. And I'm so grateful to you. And if it's okay to publicly acknowledge and say to you and to others, thank you very much for your service.
Thanks, Sterling. I prefer to stay in the back
and
not come to the front face, but that seems to be the role that I'm taking up a lot now. Thanks for having me on, and good afternoon to everyone that's listening. Pirates Fest.
The pirate. What's the song I heard Paula Cal singing? The pirates are having a party and he's not included. I'm just kidding. Pirates Fest.
Everybody, including Paul, is invited and welcomed, and I want to see there. So this week, as we get into the final home stretch of Pirates Fest, looking forward very much to East End having their district day on Friday, November 4th, starting at 11 o'clock at their Heritage Park. I think it's one of those that I'm going to head up there, put a chair out on the beach after I get a plate of conch and just sit out there and just watch from afar.
You know what? I hope and pray that you get to do that. I like your optimism, your enthusiasm. I like the positive outlook that you have. So when I see you, when I say it starts at 11, opens at 11 a.m., right? So when I see you at 11:15, right?
I should be sitting on the beach there enjoying the nice little breeze.
Because I'm confident that just like from all hours until this minute and from now until then, you're constantly going and doing and ensuring that things are happening, and not just directing but physically getting into the mix. So
that's someone's got to lift the heavy stone and move it to where it needs to go. But I'm grateful and glad that I have the ability and the position to do just that.
We'll lead by example, and I see that. And that's why at the outset I said, if it's okay, because many of us, and you, like many Caymanians, there's a sense of humility. We don't like the public praise.
No.
But it is important, and it's important for it to be done now, and when it's done, to be done genuinely. I always look for the good. With you, it's impossible not to see it. So,
thanks.
Yeah.
So, let's get back to Pirates Fest. So Friday, East End, like I said, I'm looking forward to going up there, getting my first plate of conch for the season, because the season opened yesterday on my birthday.
It's the cake.
Oh, I had cupcakes this time around. I had cupcakes as a cake.
Yeah, well, so, a happy birthday to you. Enjoy that.
So, yes, looking forward to East End. And then later that evening, while East End is still going on, we travel over to the Sister Islands and we kick off Little Cayman's weekend. So Maxine and her team over there have a extensive weekend planned. At this point this morning, I was told there's no flights in or out of Little Cayman for the entire weekend. So our major sponsor, Cayman Airways, is diligently looking where they can squeeze in a few more flights, but they're one plane down, so they've got to do that cautiously. We're finding it hard to find accommodations in Little Cayman, so it tells me that people are taking notice and they want to enjoy and take part in the Heritage Days, which is what we envisioned with stretching them out, so people would get that time to do that. So, I'm looking forward to this weekend, starting that slow crawl to the end with East End and then Little Cayman. Little Cayman is quite ambitious. Even on the Saturday, they're going to start their day with a mini agriculture show. They haven't had the agriculture show in the Sister Islands for quite some time. Well, COVID, of course. Yeah. So Maxine decided, okay, if I can do it, I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna have people here, so let's get it done. So they're gonna start off with a mini agriculture show at 9:00 on Saturday morning, and then later in the afternoon at about 4:30, the Pirates are gonna land, and they are gonna have their float parade that starts at Hedda Bay or Southern Cross Club, and goes down to Hungry Iguana, and then there's a host of other things happening there, costume competition, different competitions that she has. And we're gonna create the night with a bang, as Graham Rankin will be over there to light up the night sky.
Yeah, he glows, man. He's a bright fella. I mean, you mean fireworks, right?
Yeah, fireworks. But he's a bright fella too. And then we're going to end Saturday night at Hungry Iguana with the Pirates party, taking over Pirates from the Bloody Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, so great.
From the Bloody Bay Buccaneers for Little Cayman. So they're all looking forward to, having a good time and meeting up with old friends, because it's been a while. So that covers their Saturday, and then Sunday. I don't know how Maxine's going to do it. However, she said the Pirates are going to go to church.
Hey, yeah. That'll be awesome.
So I that's the one thing I said, if I'm going to go anywhere on Sunday, I'm going to go to the church service, because I want to see the Pirates there. I want to take a photo of the Pirates in church.
This is on Little Cayman?
This is on Little Cayman.
At the Baptist church?
Yep.
All right.
Because there's only one church there, so. And then after they do church, then there's going to be a treasure hunt and the farewell lunch at Seahorse Boutique. And then they move from Seahorse Boutique to Kingston Bite with the Walk of the Plank and pool and dominoes tournament. So it's going to be a very full 3 days weekend. So coming up. And then, of course, it gives me about 4 days then to ease on into what's happening here in Grand Cayman.
Yeah, as I was looking at our messages and speaking to Ms. Ventisha Conley, I want us to remind each other and our listeners of the websites so they can schedule. Some people are asking, well, where can we, what is the schedule for the district days and the like. But I know the website is there, but we can even go through it and tell people.
The website is www.piratesfestcayman.com. If you scroll down the page, there is a button at the bottom that says schedule. Or if you click on the events menu at the top, choose the island that you want. Most of the events on that has been updated. I just need to add a few more. But it's on the www.piratesfestcayman.com website. Or they can check our social media pages. We still haven't changed the Facebook one, so it's still Cayman Islands Pirates Week Festival, and our Instagram, which is Pirates Fest Cayman. All of those have revolving shots of what's happening coming up, and also the ministry's web social media pages also. So Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, Heritage, their Facebook, their Instagram, their Twitter, all of these mediums. People can find out what's going on.
And the next sort of Heritage Day is East End on Friday.
Yes. And
then, we can kind of get it, but we can go through because we have more unfolding with them.
Yes.
All right, let's pause and take this short break. When we come back, no. What you saw just now is what I was being told. Let's keep talking.
Okay, all right.
But you see how much I'm in condition. Look up, there's a clock. It says ding. See, that's how we easily condition, like Pablo with his dog and people with his corona, with or without Lyme.
So, we've got East End on Friday, Little Cayman starting Friday night, rolling in through Sunday, and then we move back here to Grand Cayman. And we've got a break for about 4 days when the official kickoff party and happy hour starts on Thursday, the 10th of November. I almost said October there. I was still...
Yeah.
Ooh.
Thursday 2 month 11 at hour 12.
So we are going to kick off the official happy hour and kickoff party will be at Snappers, which is at Royal Watlers Terminal.
RWT.
That little tongue twister there.
The Royal Watler Terminal.
So it's going to be hosted by Kenny Rankin and the great folks over at Snappers. I'm looking forward to it. The Pirates are looking forward to it. And then Friday, November the 11th, of course, this whole time we'll have, Pirates coming in through our airport. So Tortuga Rum Company is hosting the airport welcome reception. So they'll have a booth set up so when people come in, they get a little taste of Cayman's world famous rum cake and a little drink, get the schedule, and, get ready to party like a pirate.
I party like a pirate. I gotta see that.
And then later on Friday the 11th, we move over to Cayman Cabana for the Pirates and Winches party.
Same Friday.
Yeah. So we, ease right into the weekend there.
Wow. I was just thinking, as you referenced, that's also the Remembrance Day weekend. But given what you shared at outset, people looking up to Little Cayman this weekend. It's not a public holiday on Monday yet. People have swarmed in droves. The schools are back in, so it's not as if parents are looking for an escape. I think it goes to what you shared. People are looking forward. They're making a part of their programming, and hopefully there'll be opportunities for more passage, more accommodation.
I hope so. I do hope so. So that takes us into the first kickoff weekend. Well, not the first, but the kickoff weekend for Grand Cayman, for Georgetown, on Saturday, November 12th. We'll start with the 5K Sea Swim at Governor's Beach, which is sponsored by KPMG and hosted by SIASA, the Amateur Swim Club. They are geared up, ready for that. So those folks who are trying to qualify for something or, like to take a nice long swim.
A float in the bay.
Yes. I would do that, and I'd probably be on my back doing backstroke the whole time.
Yeah, I got a little half and let's paddle away. I'll water glass and a striker and see if I can find anything with it.
No, not out on Governor's Beach, though.
No. I'll be elsewhere.
So we start off the morning on Saturday with this 5K sea swim. And then we take a little break and come back starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon with the Cayman Airways Cardboard Boat Regatta.
Try that again fast.
The Cardboard Boat Regatta being sponsored by our national flag carrier and one of our major sponsors, Cayman Airways, will be in Hogside Bay. We've got about 5 teams. I just had someone call me today wanting information. So we're looking for about 6, maybe 7 boats in the harbor.
Let's go for 8 people. Let's go for 8. Come on.
Hey, more the merrier. The more the merrier. And there is cash prizes for those people who win. So reach out to me, and if you want to put your team together, it can be a team of 2, it can be up to a team of 6. All they got to do is reach out and I'll send them the information.
I've observed it from a distance, and a few times I thought it'd be nice to do it. But then I figure if I speak to my brothers, they say, what you mean is we do the work. So they got wise to that. But it would be good because it's
a great team building.
Yeah.
We had 2 entries from one company because they had 2 different sides of the company, and they said, we want to use it as a team building thing. So this side from a mechanical side, they've got 6 people, and this side from the admin side, they've got 6 people. So they're using it not just as a competition for us, but as a competition for them. So, yes, if you still want to take part in the Cardboard Boat Regatta hosted by Cayman Airways, reach out to me and I'll send you all the information you need for that. And that then segues into our Water Mermaids Showcase, the Cayman Islands Amateur Swimming Association's synchronized swimming squad.
No, that is a tongue twister.
That's why I took it easy there.
The synchronized swimming squad.
Yes, they are going to be putting on about a 15-minute or so showcase of their talents in the water. What I liked about this is the fact that not all of us will be able have been able to go out and see the synchronized swimmers and what they do and what they're capable of in the water. They just went to a tournament, I can't even remember where, but came back with 2 medals. So they're doing great things, and so that including them in it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, and it just shows the diversity. It provides another platform.
Yes.
For people to sort of introduce their sport, their interests.
Yeah, and it also adds to the lore of pirates and mermaids and sirens and all of that. So it's a nice combination there.
I just thought it would be kind of cool, Traditionally, you hear synchronized swimming, and the performers would be in the water, and then the spectators would be on the dry land. But since it's Pirates Fest, we should reverse it. Put all the spectators in the water and put performers on land. That would be something to consider.
I don't have enough hands from HSA to be on and the fire service to be on deck for that.
Okay. Well, just a thought. I mean, brainstorming here, okay?
Okay. Maybe we'll put it on the table for 2020.
No, man.
So once the mermaids finish and clear the water, back on dry land and safe and sound, then we have the Pirates landing. And I'm actually really excited for this one because if you haven't seen, His Excellency has been practicing his sword skills.
Yeah, apparently, rumor has it that he was been on the beach in swashbuckling, allegedly. This is not April 1st, so we got to be mindful not to tell tales, But allegedly, neighbors have been sort of summoning the police and thought there was an invasion. No, that's not true at all. But he's been practicing.
Yeah, he has been practicing. He's very excited to be a part of it, and we're excited to have him be a part of it. So we'll have the Pirates landing from about 3 to 3:30 ish, and once the Pirates capture the governor, so he's got to have quick feet too.
But, hey, listen,
but he runs.
Yeah,
so.
he's athletic, very charming, without question.
So he may be able to talk his way out of it this time.
Yeah. I mean, the pen is mightier than a sword, So
there
the tongue is just a skill. So we might see diplomas at work,
Yep. So then we move right into our float parade. Our head of floats, this head of parade actually this year, Miss Dawn Manderson from Cayman Airways, has lined up a number of floats. There'll be one from each of the 5 districts here in Grand Cayman. Am I right on that? 5? 5 districts.
Yeah, who knows now?
So each of the major districts here in Grand Cayman will have a float in there. And we have floats from companies like Home Gas and the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is joining us in having a float there. So there's quite a few personnel that's going to be in there, and I think Department of Children and Family Services are looking to put a float in there also. So it's going to be a breath of people that
It's I think one of the part where that land in that whole day of participation, you have it jam packed. It's going to be fun. People look forward to that. And then it continues. Usually there are other stuff that transpire after the float parade.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. Of course, while all of that's going on, our food festival in the RBC in Kirk Freeport parking lots on Shedden Road, our food alley, will be happening. So, of course, you can get your conch, your turtle, your, everything and sit down and watch everything that's happening. Though I don't know if there's any seating room out there.
Probably not going to be even space, standing room only.
From your lips to God's ears. So our food festival will be going on throughout, starting at 2:00. And then we move to the main stage. So this year our main stage is going to be at the other end of Seafarers Way down right at the end of Bayshore Mall and Hard Rock Cafe is where
that other end.
Yeah, that other end.
Okay, not the other end, but that other end.
Yeah. So it's going to be down that side, and we'll have the national song competition. We have a number of contestants there, ranging from 10 years old to, mid-50s, I think.
I was going to say 10 years old to the age of normal. But we're not going out that much, okay?
No.
Wait, that door closes from the outside. Okay.
You go ahead, Dave, because I'll duck. So our national song competition will start at about 6:30, and once that wraps up and we've awarded the winners and they've gotten their prizes, then we'll move into the district heritage costume competition. And I know each district is hotly putting their costumes together and making sure they have everything just right for their person to walk across the stage and win that crown that night. So
it's, I think back, looking at some old photographs and it's like a country song. that competition from the moment that we see the districts sort of put together what they think would represent the heritage, it played well in the past, and maybe something now that as we look at it in this last couple of years in particular, good time to come out for people to harken back to what is important, and maybe come as family and friends, a team building of the companies, but just come and participate and spectate.
Yeah, I mean, the theme for the District Heritage Costume competition, which is the theme for throughout Pirates Fest this year, is royalty. Yeah. And it's not just royalty in terms of our monarch, but it's how you depict royalty. Because when I think of royalty, I can think of flora and fauna. We've got the queen conch, the kingfish, queen triggerfish, different things that have that connotation of royal with it.
The queen palm. There's a lot of different connotations of it. So, and how they decide to present the regalness.
And then I said to them, think outside the box. I said, when I think of royalty in terms of my district, I think of those founders who, as much as wouldn't want to, like myself, be put on a pedestal to say, you know what, I'm looking at Captain Keith Tibbets. I'm looking at Mr. Linton Tibbets. I'm looking at the Honourable Juliana O'Connor Conley. Those are the people who helped with the foundation of where my district, came from to where it's at now. So those are my royalty, think outside the box. So it's going to be interesting to see these district heritage costumes.
Yeah, I mean, the cell style, Lord Mayor said, Mr. Gray, I mean, there you go.
Yeah, and they also have to tie that into the float parade. So I think what we're going to see is a lot of districts honoring their founders and the foundation of that district in their floats. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So the district heritage costume competition, we estimate about an hour, and then it segues into fireworks. Of course, we're going to have Graham out there on the waterfront again, lighting up the sky. It's going to be about a 15-20 minute show. So, I'm really looking forward to that first Saturday. I think once I get to the fireworks on that first Saturday, I'll actually be able to breathe and say, okay.
Yeah. And this is, I'm glad you shared up. It's a lot of individual effort. We see the districts and their collaborative approach, and each driver sort of brings it to fruition.
Yeah.
But for us as spectators, we just show up, enjoy the festivities, we partake of the food. There's great revelry and fun, and from the cardboard race to watching the swashbuckling and the choreographed sword fighting to what it was, to what it was, like in the early days to where we are now. It should be have a reminder.
Yes, and what I will say is, we didn't have the breadth of time that we needed to, or we would have wanted to plan 2022. So as much as it's a big calendar, it's still small in comparison to what was previously done. And so for 2023, we're looking forward to expanding our calendar, and adding some of those things. I know Minister is very much in on the notion of making sure that we bring back those skydivers and the plane jumpers and so on back to, because that was an exciting part of it, and it brings a lot more, when you have those people who come from overseas, because I don't think we have any of those plane jumpers here. They don't just come by themselves, they come and they bring their family, so they're here for a couple days and enjoying all of our festivities. So that is Saturday, November 12th. We take a break on Sunday, which is the Remembrance Day ceremony out at Emsley that day. And then on Monday, the 14th, which is the holiday, Miss MP Heather Bodden and her team in Savannah, Newlands will host a Children's Fun Day at Pedro St. James, starting at 10 o'clock. And then in the afternoon, we have the first annual Harbour Half Mile or Harbour 800 meter swim in the harbour. So we get started. The registration and everything will be at Cayman Cabana. And then once we're ready to start at about 3, registration starts at 3 at Cayman Cabana, and then the race starts at 4. So we head over to the Divers Down dock, and whistle blows, and everybody starts heading for Hogstye Bay.
And you referenced that last time, and the sort of collaboration with the Harbour Patrol Port Authority, not just making it safe, not just the importance that you place on paramount. Safety is paramount, but for those who've never had that opportunity just to swim in the harbour, that itself, for many, would be a first.
There's not very many times that you can actually get to swim in the harbour. So this is a collaborative effort between the ministry, the Pirates Fest office, Flowers Group, the Swimming Association, SIASA, Port Authority. So we're looking forward to a really great swim. Though I probably won't be the one swimming it. But we also, in terms of safety, we have HSA on board. We have the local Watercraft Association who's going to be out on their jet skis in the water with the swimmers. We've got divers there from one of the dive operations, I want to say Ocean Frontiers. We'll have divers underwater, so if anyone gets into a little difficulty, that diver will be able to just, help them out, get them to one of our safety jet skis and get them to shore. And on shore, we have Dr. Elizabeth McLaughlin and Mr. Stephen Duvall with their great team from HSA waiting and right on the wings to take care of anything that happens there. So as you can see, it's a collaborative effort from everyone.
And as we speak to Ms. Ventisha Connolly about the Pirates Fest, I was just looking at one of the messages coming from one of our listeners, and the person shares that, for them, as a family, the last couple of years, in the absence of things, there's a bit that I want to read, but I sat back and say, okay, are you sure to say this? But they say, having family, mostly in the Florida and Texas areas, coming down, they would come, and for some, they would stay through the New Year. For some, they would go back for Thanksgiving in the U.S., and then they would come back sometime either for Christmas or the New Year. And they're saying that having it spread out this time gives them a better opportunity for some of those families who would normally have to go and return to now stay and then celebrate not just the Pirates, not just the Christmas, but that traditional American Thanksgiving here. And just wanted to share how it's played out well. So
thanks.
It's good for people to see how Cayman Airways and Florida is just one.
Yeah, and I mean, those persons who are listening overseas right now, if they're coming, in groups, our national flag carrier has discounts depending on the hub you're coming out of. So just give them a call or email them at groups@caymanairways.net, and they have great fares coming out of the U.S. and all of their hubs to come over for Pirates Fest.
And to bring family together.
Yes.
The part I was gonna ask the person if can I ask, it was about food, and that is where they sort of celebrate and having the food aspect of it. And they reference a particular food item, Wilkes.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, well, so are Wilkes out there as well?
Oh, yes, Wilkes are going to be out there. Conch and Wilkes season has opened. So.
All right, well, no excuses now not to bring a belly.
No. So that was where we ended on Monday, the 14th, with our Harbor half-mile sea swim. So then we take a little break on Tuesday, recoup, and then Wednesday. This is the one you're looking forward to.
I wrote it down. See it right now.
So the cassava cake and conch fritter competition will be hosted by Coral Beach at Coral Beach. We do have a number of entries so far, so I know people are looking forward to it. I had a call yesterday from an older lady who said, I used to make conch fritters all the time for friends and family, but I haven't made it in such a long time. And I heard that you were having this competition, and I wondered if I could still join. Of course you can.
More than merrier, man.
Of course you can. She goes, well, how many conch fritters do I need to make to bring? I said, well, ma'am, there'll be about 4 judges, but there'll be a host of hungry people there too.
And don't forget me and you, so she can, share them. We'll judge it.
That's actually the one thing I'm glad I can't do as the director is judge a competition, because I would have.
Oh man, this one wins, that one wins, that one wins.
Exactly, Oprah style.
You get a book.
So, on Wednesday, the 16th of November at 6:00, we have our cassava cake and conch fritter competition at Coral Beach, hosted by Kenny Rankin and those great folks at Coral Beach. And then we move into what is the final weekend of Grand Cayman. So, starting on Thursday, we are going to have Pan in the City, sponsored by one of our longtime major sponsors, CUC, Miss Pat and Neil Murray, and those were very happy to come back on board with one of their signature events for the year. So we're looking forward to having a number of entries for that. I know as soon as the word went out to the schools and stuff, those schools who do have, a steel pan club came back and said, we'll participate. They didn't even look at the rest of it to see, what could be won. We'll participate. So looking forward to a Thursday night filled with music on the waterfront. We're going to set up at the old spot. So right at Cardinal and Seafarers in front of Sharky's, who was another one of our great sponsors, heading towards, Goring Avenue. We're going to set up there. We're going to have seating for people to enjoy. It'll be a nice breeze in. And yeah, we'll have a couple food trucks so every event, every night that we have something major, there's a food festival. However, Thursday, because we know that it's not an extended night, but people are going to come out and they're still going to be hungry because they're coming out, at 6:30, and they should have just been getting home to make dinner at that point. So we'll have a couple food trucks there. So it's our food truck festival. We'll be there on Thursday, the 17th of November, on Seafarers Way. So that caps the night. And then we move into Friday the 18th, Saturday the 19th. We'll start the day on Friday with a turtle release from Governor's Beach, which is sponsored by the Cayman Turtle. The Cayman Turtle Center. Natalie and the great team over there are ready with a few yearlings to release on Friday the 18th of November. And then we come back into town at 5:30 for our Pirates Fest 5K run walk, being hosted by the Mustang Track Club. So that's heading out, not heading out, but being advertised out this week so that we can, I think that's our last one that we've started to advertise for. We've pushed just about everything else out so far. And then we run right into our block party. Right. So our big street dance for that night starts at about 7:00, and of course we'll have the food festival happening on Shedden Road in the east RBC and Kirk Freeport parking lots. I see you've got your phone there. do we have a question?
We have a number of things, but I do recognize the timing and almost our news. We really, hopefully be able to carve time out of your schedule to come in and share, because you have a very extensive, engaging, a very entertaining schedule of events.
Yes, I do.
And as we close with the discussion, I think Friday, it's only Wednesday, so get it ready for East End.
Yes.
Any kind of closing reminders that you want to share with the people, and then of course hit up the schedule on the website.
Yeah, I just want to tell everyone to come out and enjoy the Heritage Day on Friday with us at East End. If you can make it over to Little Cayman for this weekend, hop on a plane, grab a little bag, hop on a plane, and come and enjoy the festivities. Enjoy a break from, and that's what I love about Little Cayman. It's an even more break from reality than Cayman Brac. So you can get lost in the fact that, there's spotty cell service and great beaches.
You know what? We all need a little break now and again, right?
Yes.
We all need
jump on over to Little Cayman this week. And then, of course, our Grand Cayman week and our wrap-up in Cayman Brac. You can find all the information for that on www.piratesfestcayman.com. Scroll down to the bottom, find schedule, click on that. And if you have any questions, do feel free to reach out to me over at the Pirates Week office from 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. just about every day besides Sunday. Or give me a call on 949-5078 or send me an email at director@piratesfest.ky.
Ms. Fantasia, you have done a wonderful job. Thank you very much, and hopefully we can continue to partner with you to help to support, promote, and enjoy the event. So let's get in gear for East End on Friday.
Yes.
All right. We'll pause and take a break, go to the news. When we come back, we want you to join us for more discussion. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Busy. Feel like there's not just enough hours in the day. Savannah Pharmacy, service to make your life easier. Now you can WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. And pickup is just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays. WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. Savannah Pharmacy, wholesome values with modern conveniences.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Pirates Fest. A little bit of old, a little bit of new. The evolution of Cayman's Pirates. A little bit of fun for everyone. Grand Cayman festivities from November 10th through the 20th. 10 days, 33 events. From happy hour parties, cardboard boat races, the Trial of the Pirates, float parade, national song competition, pooch parades, races, fireworks. So many fireworks. Pirates Fest is here. 33 events, 10 days, November 10th through the 20th. Stay in the know. Get the full event lineup at piratesfestcayman.com.
Pirates fire, raging through Church Street, Brac and Little Cayman, putting on some heat.
J and Money touching down again. Now you can send your US dollars at any location on island, including the Brac. It's easy. Just walk with your US dollars. No need to convert to CI. This is another convenient service available at J and Money. They always find a way to make it easier and hassle-free. So remember, when you need to send your money and you only have US dollars, don't ever think of what to do. Just head straight to any J and Money location and send your money. The fast, convenient, and affordable J and Money. J and Money, touching down again. J and Money, ranga to la friend.
Come on out to the Cayman Seafood Fest and Health Fair. Come enjoy your favorites like crab, turtle, conch, and shrimp with tasty side dishes. Get free blood pressure checks, flu shots, nutritional counseling, and much more. See you Saturday, November the 5th, 11 to 3 at the Farmers Market next to the cricket grounds. All proceeds to support the NCVO. Brought to you by the Progressives, celebrating 20 years of service to the Cayman Islands.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
There's read the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. Water Authority Cayman will conduct leak detection works in Cayman Kai starting today, November 2nd, till the 3rd between 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. as part of an ongoing infrastructure works in the area. Customers on the following roads may experience service interruption during the course of the work, with the interruption lasting no more than 1 hour. Sandpoint Road, Sankola Close, Water Key, Finger Key Road, Camp Drive, and Kaibo Crescent. In international news, North and South Korea have fired a number of missiles into waters near each other's coasts in a marked escalation of hostilities. The North launched its most missiles in a day, at least 23, including one that landed less than 37 miles off the South's city of Sokcho. Seoul responded with warplanes firing 3 air-to-ground missiles over the disputed maritime demarcation line. Later, Pyongyang fired 6 more missiles and a barrage of 100 artillery shells. The North says the launches are in response to large-scale military exercises currently being held by South Korea and the United States, which it calls aggressive and provocative. two of America's biggest pharmacies have agreed to pay more than $10 billion to resolve thousands of lawsuits over their roles in the U.S. opioid crisis. The proposed deals with CVS and Walgreens mark the latest chapter of a long legal saga in which firms have faced claims they helped drive the abuse of addictive painkillers. Settlements with drug makers and distributors have already brought in more than $30 billion. The pharmacies have denied wrongdoing. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamp Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamp Motors, Walkers Road.
The Rotary Central Music Extravaganza is Saturday, November 26th. Your ticket, your chance, your prize. Grand prize $40,000. Second prize $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes and more. Get your $25 tickets now through Rotary Central members, Rotary Central ticket sellers, eventpro.ky, or WhatsApp Rotarian Annie Rose Scott in Cayman Brac at 916-7310. The Rotary Music Extravaganza at Salty's Grand Harbor. Performances by Heat, Fabulous 68s, and CNB. November 26th, you can be the winner. Proceeds fund Rotary Central Community Projects. Rotary Central NPO number 232. Rotary, all the good you imagine.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
And the whole island is one big, big party, party, party.
Little Cayman, the 2022 Pirates Fest season starts with you. November 4th through the 6th with the official kickoff at McCoy's Sunset Bar, Friday the 4th, followed by the float parade, 3 p.m. on the 5th, starting from Southern Cross, costume competition, fireworks show, and don't forget about the Pirates Party at the Hungry Iguana. You know them pirates like a little party, Little Cayman style. Little Cayman Pirates Fest, November 4th through the 6th. Tune in Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. for the Daily Sports Report, covering local, regional, and international sports. Proudly brought to you by Dr. Dwayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette, brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land. Explore your sister islands.
Born in Creek, Cayman Brac on the 25th of September 1939, Henry Mansfield Connolly was the third of 8 children for Henry Kitchener and Olive Connolly.
Following a 30-year career with national bulk carriers, he was one of few brackers who worked with Cayman Energy Company doing the ship-to-ship oil transfers off the island in the 1980s. Following a medical injury, he retired from sea and started his own plumbing engineer company, C&H Plumbing, which he owned for 16 years. Prior to relocating to Grand Cayman, he was a volunteer during hurricane emergencies, assisting with the safety of the elderly in his district. Mr. Connolly was one of the original band members of the famous Brack Beach Boys, a member of the Sister Islands Veterans and Seamen Society, and also a member of the Seafarers Association on Grand Cayman. In 2003, he was one of 500 Seamen Medal honorees for their contribution to the Southwell years.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette, brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And thanks too to Luigi Moxon for sitting in. And I appreciate the opportunity. I know you have a very engaging, taxing, busy schedule ahead of you. So, for the next few minutes, excited to hear what you got on the cards, man. So good to see you.
Thank you, as always. Thank you to Radio Cayman for always showing love. Thank you to Dwayne for all the great work that you continue to do to show love and support our community. And certainly the opportunity to invite me on today to share what we got going on. Very exciting. May not have, seen a lot of advertisement, but we have a tremendous opportunity and an important event happening this week in the Cayman Islands. It is the first inaugural Cool Out Music Conference. And you and I both know, you're at Radio Cayman, and you guys are the first, sometimes the only, that really show love to our local musicians and artists. And the people who are serious about their craft and their work, and who are investing in themselves, working 2 jobs to do studio time, learning how to songwrite, and going to hopscotch and wherever else, and producing, putting in the work for their passion. And we've had a lot of great people. We do have a lot of amazing talent here. Sometimes it just seems to be discouraging after a while, because they don't necessarily feel like they get that opportunity to get exposure outside of Cayman. So what a group down here is doing is introducing Nashville and Music City to Cayman, and vice versa, introducing Cayman to them, where we're hosting the first Cool Out Music Festival, and it is going to be hosted this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And it is a star-studded event where country music and Caribbean music come together and mash up. All right, and there's a songwriting contest. There's performances at multiple venues, all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday. And this is from the best contracted performing artists from the Cayman Islands, all of it. So you name your favorite artist in the Cayman Islands, they're performing this weekend. But as important as that, we would like the public to come out and support their artists, is I'm excited about the opportunity that everyone's getting. I can't sing a lick or play a violin, but I know what it's like to be a creative entrepreneur and to have some challenges from the business side, and want to evolve and have a brand and a product that is worthy of being recognized internationally, and having some challenges here, whether it's the laws or copyright laws, being protected from your craft internationally, trademarking. It is this is a historical event for the music industry in the Cayman Islands. So we have everybody from the Barefoot Man, Andy Blake, to Andy Martin, Swanky, Benil, James Gary, Vashti, Shamika Clark, you name it, we are representing in full effect. Cayman, if you've never seen to have the ultimate lineup of local artists this week, please come out to the multiple venues I'm about to outline to you to check out those artists. But again, it's about them and the opportunity that they're going to get to connect with major record labels and executives and lawyers that are coming down here to discuss and learn about Cayman and figure out how they can invest directly into the artists here and the industry here, and possibly influence some of the much needed revisions of and discuss at the very least some of the opportunities to enhance our laws in regards to trademarks and licensing and copywriting. And this is for the people who are doing it big, and we're in our own way with some of the things that are just been ongoing for generations. So we kind of just want to shift where Music City meets Cayman and take it to the next level. There's Paul Overstreet, Nash Overstreet. There's huge international artists. There's some people that people may not recognize, but they're big songwriters, behind the scenes. And I'm excited for our local artists for what they've been doing. Because right now there's a field of tremendous talent doing big things here, man.
And I think I really appreciate you share that, because oftentimes we don't necessarily recognize, value, respect, nor give the opportunity to promote and showcase the talent that we have here. But there are many people who see Cayman as a second home, and they interact with us, and those who know, but we don't realize that they walk the beaches, we see them in the supermarkets, and that's part of the appeal and the attraction that is Cayman. Maybe for them, this is a way to help to identify and develop that future talent. So 3, 4, 5, November 3, 4, and 5. I like how you put it together. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yes.
And the venues are where?
The venues is Lone Star, starting at midday. I believe some our MPs are going to be there. I believe the Premier might be there to open up the event. And it's a star-studded lineup that's going to be kicking off at Lone Star on Thursday from midday to the afternoon, all day, all night. And then there's another event happening at the Westin on the beach there with some A-list celebrities, Paul Overstreet and his friends. So it'll be cool to check that. You can visit Cool Out Cayman on Instagram, Facebook for more information on that. So that's at Lone Star on Friday and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We also have an event called Fish Tea at the Harkwell on Friday night. That's featuring Swanky. And no matter who the biggest artist that was coming here, Swanky is the headline. Swanky is who we represent. We want Swanky to get their flowers and be recognized, and hopefully next year we'll be able to take Swanky to Nashville. So this is really just a foundation for what we're building coming in the coming years to develop the industry. And at Cayman Cabana, starting at midday on Friday, all day Friday, we have, I'm going to show you the lineup right now that we have at Cabana, because we're going to represent, right?
Yep.
So starting at midday on Friday, we have Jimmy LaPierre, we have High Tide, we have Johan, we have Brent McLean, Bruce Gordon, Erica Asai, Chris Sanchez, Andy Blake, Barefoot Man, Dario Rivers, Vashti, some new talent, Nair Bird, Nick Novak, Stuart Wilson, DJ Stephen King, DJ Craig, Ben Hudson, JG, Benil, Carnival, James Gary, Nash Overstreet. It's just an all-star lineup, Super C of we want to showcase the best that Cayman has to offer.
This is Friday at Cabana.
This is Friday.
From midday?
This is, sorry, that lineup right there is Saturday at Cabana. Sorry, that is Saturday at Cabana. No, I'm getting mixed up here.
Yeah, so you're so excited,
I'm
right?
very excited.
Yeah.
The whole other thing. This is Friday at Cabana, starting midday. We have drink special, food special all day. So, and it's a free event. It's a complimentary event. Come in any day, all day, anytime, all day, and you're going to be entertained by Cayman's top recording artists and potentially meet some celebrities and network. And then there's a conference on Saturday as well. If anyone's interested about songwriting, they can attend that conference. The challenge with the songwriting competition this year is to remake a song by Mr. Roy Bodden, and they're currently voting for that, and it's been amazing to see what's coming out of that, and you truly see the talent shine. Again, highlighting our local artists.
Yeah. It would be great, something that I was speaking to Mr. Loxley just in passing, but sparking from a conversation. You take Mr. Dallamaine's music, right, and to see how maybe we can not just re-record it, reinterpret and redefine it, but just so the respect, from the Blue House, to Cayman Moon. It shouldn't be songs that just pass because the original composer is no longer with us, right? It should be songs that are revered,
right?
Specifically because of that.
Yep.
And it's
inspiring for the up and coming artists for them to do that. And I like this because of the country music heritage of the Cayman Islands as well, and bringing the best of Nashville, home of country music, to the Cayman Islands, and mixing that up with new music, and just
I mean, you mentioned Mr. Roy Bodden. He performed at the Grand Ole Opry. I managed to interview him, and that should be a highlight for us. But we have that strong country music connection. The seafarers, I think, just through them, from the radios to the requests, to just how the music will come through sometimes on a very peaceful, calm Friday evening, leading to the night. You get to listen to the radios across the oceans. So you got 3 days, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 3, 4, and 5.
There you go. And on Friday we have an all-star lineup all day, starting from midday until midnight, of artists performing that I just named. And on Saturday there's a camp that's going to be led by a Grammy-winning songwriter, Andre Alexander. And if anyone's interested to attend that, they can contact info@coolout.com. I think that's a phenomenal opportunity for people to get, professional insight by record executives. There's about 50 lawyers that are coming down from the legal association to really just educate our community and the legal field here on what we can do to enhance the collaboration in this industry and grow this industry in Cayman. People are investing hundreds of millions of dollars, and people are making hundreds of millions of dollars internationally. And part of the reason they don't invest in doing that and coming to Cayman because their music is not protected. If they come down here and write a song, it may not be protected here. So there's little things that makes a big difference.
Intellectual property. I mean, we've gone, with our corporate laws, and we're making strides. I think, the office here is doing a fantastic job relative to getting the education out, having the workshops. But our artists need to understand the importance of protecting, using the trademarks, the copyright, and the like, and protecting their intellectual property. So this is another avenue that they can do just that. I commend you, man. You are an entrepreneur, but you also have that creative spirit of sharing that experience and expertise so that the wider community can benefit as well.
Absolutely. I'm very passionate about that and representing all aspects of Cayman. And like I said, I don't have a bit of talent singing. And maybe it might be a ghostwriter, but I can't sing, I can't play that music. But the songwriting contest is a great opportunity for exposure. There's a new app called Collab that Ben Hudson has created here in Cayman that's going to give amazing exposure to our local artists. So anyone who interested in supporting their artists and part of the music industry here in the Cayman Islands need to attend the Cool Out 2022 Singer-Songwriting Music Conference. I want to tell you a little bit about Saturday. So Saturday, we have a big thing at Cayman Cabana starting at midday. And we have Mr. Nash Overstreet, is an internationally Grammy Award-winning DJ and singer-songwriter, and his dad, Paul Overstreet. Again, like we were saying, they live here, right? And obviously connection there. It's great to have them, set the tone for this, and great opportunity for everyone involved. And so the event at Cabana on Saturday is called Nash Up. So we're gonna mix up Cayman and Nashville, and it's gonna be a collaboration of that vibe, and again, all-star lineup of local artists and international artists. We have people and experts coming down from industry labels and associations like BMI, the International Lawyers, the International Association of Entertainment Lawyers, SONA, international DJs like Carnival, some of our best DJs here. Tickets are available at Event Pro. Our headquarters is located at the retail shop at the front of Cayman Cabana, so they can come and get their tickets for any of these events that's happening. The events on Thursday and Friday are free, but if they want to do the Hartwell or the event at the West End or the Nash Up event at Cabana on Saturday, we encourage them to follow us and contact coolout.com or contact Event Pro to get their tickets. Or, of course, you can come to the door.
Yeah. Luigi, we have a call online. All right, I know you've got to get back to your schedule in a few minutes, but let's take this call. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Noon.
Good afternoon.
Is that Sterling?
Hey, that's a famous voice. How are you?
I'm getting better, I hope.
I pray so, man.
I wondered if you had about 3 minutes I could share something with you.
Go right ahead, man. Luigi's listening too, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got a little tune I'm working on. You know, I'm actually probably the most marginalized and shunned citizen in these islands.
Well, there might be competition for that, but you might be close up there.
I never hear my name mentioned. I never hear. But it's okay. I know why. I'd like to share this with you, Sterling.
Go right ahead, man.
Another cruise ship dropped her anchor in the harbor today. We all know it won't be long. She's full steam and spray. People island hopping, a little time to play. I wish a Gillen boat could hold her down, so she can't get away. So give me a piece of that rope to tie her down, so she can't get away. I rise in love at least 3 times every other day. Some pretty girl off the ship seems to have that sway. I want to keep her here with me, immigration, let her stay. And give me a piece of that rope to tie her down, and enough that rope to wrap around. Hey, ma'am, John in Frankstown, so she can't get away. She can't get away. And that's just a little bit of that, Sterling. I won't bother with the third verse.
No, man, but listen, everybody may know the Goldfield, and the way you have forever entrenched that through your music. But when Luigi was thinking of and sharing of the different singers and songwriters, I must share you came to my mind. So maybe not as marginalized as we think, right?
Well, this is the thing for
Sterling. I never hear. They never call me up and say, "Hey, we're having a festival, a music festival. We'd like you to come." Never.
I am.
Never get called.
Well, I tell you what. I'm not sure if are you part of the lineup at Lone Star?
I'm sorry?
Are you part of the lineup? Or are you going to the, have you heard about the Cool Out Festival?
I heard you name a list of people a short while ago.
No, that was the ones at Cabana. There's a whole another lineup that's at the Westin and at Lone Star. So this is Mr. Budden, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had my friend Jimmy mention to me that this thing was happening and they were going to call me about
this is how I look at it. This event is for you, and it's for you and for you. This is the songwriters. This is the people who are serious, the people who have committed and doing the work that people may not know about. They may be marginalized. Sometimes we marginalize ourselves within our community and not saying, well, we won't participate in certain things that are going on. I can tell you right now on this radio, if you are available, I would like to invite you to come tomorrow and sing that same song when we got 3 cruise ships in at Cayman Cabana. I think that'd be amazing. So. And
then what time of day would that be?
You tell me, sir. We can make this happen right now because I have to. I don't want anybody to miss out on understanding the legendary work and career and input, the influence that you've had in the Cayman Islands. So I would like to invite you to be a part of it. So I would like to get your contact information, and I would call you off air, and please let's arrange that. And more important is I hope that you will attend the conference on Saturday, in the songwriting conference, which is pretty much the core of the conference is, and I'm going to it as well. And like I said, I can't sing. I can dance a little bit, but I can't sing. It's a songwriting conference where industry experts are going to be discussing what's necessary in order for us to build a sustainable and entertainment industry in Cayman. You have wealth of experience and knowledge to share, and I certainly hope that people recognize that. And if they don't, this is an opportunity for a lot of people to do. This is not about young artists, this is about everybody. Again, I'm not a musician, but I know what's going on in the creative space here in Cayman, where we are marginalized in the Cayman Islands as Caymanian artists. People don't take and value the Caymanite. People don't value the musicians. People don't value the fashion designers, the food. There's every aspect of it. But we do that to ourselves, and we let people do that to us. So I'm really glad you called, sir, Mr. Budden. And so please...
You want to share your number with him? Or we pass it along.
Absolutely. You can put it on the air, 929-0804 or 924-6119.
Okay, I have that one. But what's the other one? 929?
Yeah, 0804.
0804?
I'm so glad you called, man. I'm so glad you called. We're gonna make this happen, and I even if it's a solo performance for you to come and do it. Hopefully the weather's good tomorrow, because that was the plan for us to do something during the day tomorrow, but we weren't too sure about the cruise ships and the weather coming in, so we get exposure for that. But I will contact you, and we would have to, this is an open invitation. It's not necessarily only people are invited. This is an open invitation for the music industry in the Cayman Islands, people from the Cayman Islands. This is an opportunity for people. You'd be surprised what the people that you're going to meet, and for them to learn about your music, and then having the opportunity to remix that with some international artists. You know, so that's what this is about. It's a conference. It's not a big festival. It's not about the hype of performances. It's about building the industry and making it sustainable from a professional level in the Cayman Islands. And I know you have a wealth of knowledge that can, it's not about other people coming here and telling us about that either. You have as much wealth of knowledge to share that they need to know in order for us to all come together to enhance this industry in the Cayman Islands across the board. So thank you for calling in, and I will definitely be in touch with you.
Thank you very much, too.
Appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Dexter. Talk to you.
By the way, I had the good fortune once to meet Paul Overstreet.
Right, he's gonna be heading this thing up, and he's there. Nash is there. I don't know all his particular guests, to be honest with you. I didn't even go throw some names, but there's some big time names and people in the industry that maybe they're not letting us know about yet, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna contact you, and I'm gonna give you an all access pass so you can go to the networking event at the Westin tomorrow night, as well as on Friday at the Harkwell with Swanky, and as well as at Cabana on Saturday. So I have an all access pass for you, and we're gonna get you booked to perform.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
And it's a paid gig too, so don't worry about that. We make it happen.
I appreciate your acceptance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Dexter.
You all have any kind of day you want.
I love that.
With that,
I'm gonna try and have a good one.
Well, thank you for that. And with
Thank
that,
you for that.
I'm going fishing.
That's what it's all about. This is why I'm here. That is what it's all about. I haven't been contacting him.
Yeah, man.
Are you kidding me? This is amazing.
It is. But Luigi, you're a good spirit, so we'll make it happen. I recognize where you're at. So for people who want to be a part of it, there are the free events that's here to entertainment.
Yes.
For those in the industry, there are the opportunities. So
absolutely.
Close and share with us, my friend.
So please contact us. Look out at coolout.com. Cool with a C. The idea with that, Andrea Williams, who is, she's in the background, but she's making this thing happen, is for everybody to just come down, Cayman, and be here, and everybody just needs to cool out sometimes. You just stresses are going on and like overthinking everything. Sometimes you just need to cool out.
I mean, that's chill out. That's cool out.
Just cool out. We don't say chill out. We say cool out. So that's what it's about. I love it, and it's a great opportunity. I just thank you so much for the opportunity to come here and sharing with the public, with what this event is about, this music industry event is about. So please check out Cool Out on Facebook, on Instagram, the website, and Cayman Cabana as well. We're sharing information at Collab, the app, Ben Hudson. Contact your favorite musician and ask them about it. If they don't know about it, if they're not part of it, they need to come be a part of the conference. It's a free event for most of the venues, and there are all access passes available. Come down to Cayman Cabana this evening. We have some live music there this evening where we're rallying everyone. Everyone's going to be there tonight as well, and tickets are available, passes are available, and we do hope that the public, come out and support. Again, Cayman, I would like to have the real talk. When we talk about supporting our people, don't talk about it after they're gone. Don't talk about it after you see them fall or fail or give up, or he was a good artist. Mr. Dexter Baldwin been doing this for a minute. Legendary. I can say I don't know enough of what I should know about his music, and people. That's because we've had lack of platforms. This is the platform. This is the ongoing platform that we're going to highlight and give our people who are serious about it, professionals, the exposure and the opportunity to make a living and to continue making a living and be invested in properly.
Yeah, man. Well, Luigi, after the conference, certainly I want you to come back with your guest of choice. We can talk about as a wrap up, and then maybe set the stage for what we can. Sadly, you've alluded to it much, but we don't do it enough.
Yeah, man.
And we need to show more respect and a greater sense of commitment. But thanks very much. God's willing, I'll to see you at some of those events.
Check out James Gears, the host at Cabana. Contact him. Contact all of us. Hope to see you. Radio Cayman, thank you so much for the love.
All right, we're going to pause and take a break, and when we come back, Stephanie Dos Santos, will graze away through the studio, sit in the chair where Luigi's at, and share with us from that intellect. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Pirates Fest. A little bit of old, a little bit of new. The evolution of Cayman's Pirates. A little bit of fun for everyone. Grand Cayman festivities from November 10th through the 20th. 10 days, 33 events. From happy hour parties, cardboard boat races, the Trial of the Pirates, float parade, national song competition, pooch parades, races, fireworks. So many fireworks. Pirates Fest is here. 33 events, 10 days, November 10th through the 20th. Stay in the know. Get the full event lineup at piratesfestcayman.com.
Pirates fire raging through Church Street, bright and little Cayman.
When you're craving something big, something tasty that gives you that lip-smacking satisfaction, something that hits the spot, there is nothing better than a footlong from Subway.
It's pretty tasty.
Filling and full of flavor. Try our new sweet onion steak teriyaki with a twist. Or the classic chicken teriyaki. Top it with green pepper, onions, cheese, and that sweet onion teriyaki sauce, all piled on your favorite artisanal bread. Satisfy that craving with a footlong from Subway.
Fresh, delicious, tasty, meaty.
Let's make it a meal with a drink, chips, and cookies. There is nothing better than a footlong from Subway.
Did you know that ValueMed Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with ValueMed. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location. ValueMed on Walker's Road or Town. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Come on out to the Cayman Seafood Fest and Health Fair. Come enjoy your favorites like crab, turtle, conch and shrimp with tasty side dishes. Get free blood pressure checks, flu shots, nutritional counseling, and much more. See you Saturday, November the 5th, 11 to 3 at the Farmers Market next to the cricket grounds. All proceeds to support the NCVO. Brought to you by the Progressives, celebrating 20 years of service to the Cayman Islands.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
The Heritage Day series brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage continues with the District of East End, Friday, November 4th from 11 a.m. until late. Celebrate your district and Caymanian heritage with local food, performances, fireworks and more. East End Heritage Day on Seaview Road, Friday, November 4th from 11 a.m. until late.
Fire and fire, sweeping through the land.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And thanks now for the opportunity to speak to Ms. Stephanie Dos Santos. And as if he doesn't mind, as Luigi was exiting the studio, there's no question that he brings much passion to what he wants. And as he shared, he's in the creative space, so there's that enthusiasm, there's that level of what we understand to be the traditional entrepreneur who has an idea, who gets it going. And many times the regions of war will say that the entrepreneur would be the individual who gets it, but then there needs to be others help to facilitate, help to ensure that the logistics are there, right? And he looks at you, the lady with the the knowledge of the relationships. He identified, and you can see he quickly pivoted to say, but that's important, right? The relationships of the entertainer and the manager, the lawyers, the entertainer and the fans, and all of those aspects, they are relationships. And it made me step back for a second and reflect that sometimes when we think of relationships, we probably don't see it as exhaustive or as inclusive as it is. We probably just think of that relationship between one person and the next without seeing how encompassing it can be. So relationships touch and concern us all, and it have many facets to it.
Absolutely. So thank you. So I would like to ask you a question. What is, to you, the most painful aspect in relationships?
You want me to answer? I assume that's what you asked, right?
That's right.
So what is the most painful aspect of a relationship? Okay, I was thinking initially, the breakup, and I said, no, maybe it's the initial introductory part. Then I'm thinking, maybe it's the vulnerability and the honesty that would come within it. But then I thought further, maybe it's within yourself as you reflect. How truthful are you going to be to yourself in this relationship?
That's true. So is it fair to say that it appears that relationships are conditional?
Very much so. Huh.
Okay, so we now know that the world as we perceive it is a reflection of what's going on inside our brains. So if we experience conditional relationships, we do need to ask ourselves the question, where am I conditional with myself? And so if I ask you the question, can you spot moments where you are being conditional with yourself?
I probably would need to be a bit more introspective, but yeah, I would venture to say that even when we, well, let me ask, when we would allow ourselves permission to take a time out, you've earned this break to, go read or watch a movie, that's what, or you know what, you've exercised and this little extra bit of chocolate, you deserve it because you had a bad day, or you're going to work out tomorrow, you worked too hard yesterday. Are we putting conditions on ourselves?
Well, you put a condition on that one. If I work hard, then I get this.
Yes, yeah.
So if we generalize that a bit more, every time that we feel a challenging emotion or some agitation and we want to feel better, we are actually abandoning ourselves. We want to run away from how we feel right now. So we're sending this unconscious message to our brain that we are okay to be with ourselves only when we feel good. So I do get that it's very empowering in the first place to know that by shifting our thoughts, we can shift the way we feel. It is empowering. But the next step, the first step actually that we want to take, it's to first sit with the challenging emotions that we are feeling. Because the socialization process, which is the process that teaches us to resist how we feel, has done tremendous damage in a sense that we don't allow ourselves to feel angry. There's shame attached to it, or we don't want to admit that we feel jealous or envious. You see, so there's a whole spectrum in the emotion group that we refuse to address within ourselves. So those ones, as soon as we feel angry, it's okay, let's distract myself. I don't want to allow myself to be angry. Or if I feel jealous, it's like, no, I'm not jealous. I just don't like people fooling me. There's a strong sense of shame about admitting to ourselves feeling certain emotions. But like I said on a previous video before, even when you feel jealous, it's a calling to reinforce the connection with the person that you're scared of losing, if it's a person. You see, so the thing is, if for example, let's say for the sake of that example, that you're my husband, right? And I see you speaking with Sophie. And
it's just a conversation, okay, dear?
Yeah, justify yourself. That's right. I saw how you were looking at her. No, but we're laughing, but this is the sad truth for most people, right? Yeah. Because we have learned to reject jealousy feeling, right? And to fight it. So when we feel that, what most people want to do, and I was guilty of that as well, right? We're all the same. It's to want to get rid of the threat and control the partner.
Okay.
Right, but if you understand that, okay, I'm feeling the jealousy coming up, I understand that jealousy, it's a calling to reinforce the connection with you, with my partner, then in that case, I can come to you and say, hey, when I saw you talking with Sophie, I felt jealous, everything. And this is how, we can together reinforce the connection. You can reassure me if like little spontaneous gesture. You can go in the garden, just pick a flower and just put it in front of me, whatever it is. But it's the whole game changer when you know what it's telling you instead of wanting to get rid of the person that is there, that woman or that girl or that guy, and wanting to control you. We trap ourselves in that. And it's the reason why it's so important to address that, it's so we can create an emotional safety within the relationship. And this is what we all crave.
And listen to you, and I want perhaps maybe to repeat it so that it's not just only reinforced or remind us, but maybe for us to actually hear it. We would hear jealousy. Oh, she's jealous, he's jealous. And it's a negative way it's said, it's a negative way it's interpreted. And will even probably use words like possessive and controlling and like, as you shared. So you're saying that if you feel the sense of thing that you say, oh, that's jealousy, it's even you're accused of being jealous, that in itself doesn't have to be a bad thing if you just use the opportunity to reconnect, to reinforce your relationship, your love, your connection. But what about the people out there who would say, well, that is a sign of, potential toxic relationship, an abusive partner, a controlling, manipulative, those negative connotations.
Well, if we don't address those so-called negative emotions for what they are, which is jealousy, for example, calling for reinforcement of the connection you have with that person you're scared of losing, well, this is, these are a simple, are just consequences. Becoming abusive or more controlling, it's because the core hasn't been addressed.
So you want to be reassured then. If you'll allow me, so two individuals, one sees the other, and talking to someone and is jealous. And to your example, then, which one of them is it? The one that is upset, angry? I saw you talking to him, or whatever it was. Should that one then make that gesture, go into the garden and pick the flower? Or should the other one who say, hey, this was just a conversation, was nothing, let me reassure you? Which one initially would be...
Well, we need to also be in the context of a couple that does want to become more conscious.
Okay.
It's really based on love. So if I love you, I take your best interest as part of mine. Okay, so if you are in emotional distress because you're feeling jealous because you saw me talking with Mike, then
Peter.
Hey?
I thought you said his name was Peter. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that was yesterday. Keep up.
I'm sorry. I should. No, this is serious. No, but love, right? That's what you say. It comes down to love.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But the thing is, most relationships are highly codependent, and it's about controlling. We fail to address the emotional safety. But if you feel jealous, then you will come to me, not in an aggressive way, just in compassion for yourself, saying, okay, I need to address that to her.
Okay.
And you come to me, it's like, hey, babe, when I saw you talking with Peter yesterday and Mike today, I'm feeling challenged, and I will feel, if I do love you, I will feel your emotional distress. And because I value our relationship, I will bring you the reassurance. Then, of course, it's also happened when you got people that can't, this is something else. Then they can come and see me.
So as you were talking, I wrote down two additional words: reassurance and insecurity was the last one I just wrote. You're insecure, and we throw that about.
But this is a highly dismissing on the emotional distress that the person is talking to you about. So if I come to you and I say, well, I felt jealous, when I saw you talking with Sophie, and you say, oh, you always... it's kind of like gaslighting. Gaslighting is like telling me that what I saw was not what I saw, that what I felt I should not feel.
Okay, that phrase is something I've heard increasingly in recent times. I would suspect that I'm aware of it at some point way back when, but it wasn't something that I consciously heard or knew, and I'm hearing it more and more recently in readings and so gaslighting.
Yeah.
All right. Two things. Go back to I want you to help us to understand what that means, but just expound a little bit further on what you shared. So, the two individuals, the man says, hey, I was jealous when I saw you talking to this guy, all right? And
because the reality is that at that moment, it appears that I have a stronger connection with the other guy than what I have with you.
Okay.
This is why you're feeling emotionally unsafe, and you've got that feeling of jealousy that comes up. It's like, hey, time to reinforce the connection so you can keep yourself emotionally safe in that relationship with her.
And then the gaslighting is then when she, I just want to make sure I did not misunderstand you. When she says, we're just friends, we're just talking, she's being dismissive of his jealousy, his emotion.
This is being dismissive, yeah.
And so she's gaslighting him. Is that I just want to make sure.
Well, gaslighting someone, it's when if you say to the person that, well, I feel like this, and you say, no, you don't feel like that.
Okay.
But I saw that. No, that was not that.
Okay. So.
But I heard this too. Well, no, you must have heard wrong. This is gaslighting someone.
So it can be both ways. Once the one person is dismissive and sort of, downplaying what the other person feels or sees.
Not acknowledging. Well, change partner.
Yeah.
Choose a conscious one.
Yeah. Okay. And I think this is where the more
you can definitely talk that through. I'm not advising people. Just to clarify.
No. You know what? I've said this publicly, and I've come to recognize there's two things. One is it's a way to deflect and kind of, I don't want to deal with that, so you avoid it by joke. But I also found that humor allowed me to learn the information that much easier, to retain it that much better, because I can associate it with, and we all have different ways to learn. But this is why I enjoy having a conversation with you, because these are real things that unfold in our lives. And at the outset, when you were sharing, I think many of us, as we were listening, could easily relate to the conditions that we as parents apply to our children. Listen, you get good grades in school, and we'll give you whichever, right? Or if you clean your room, then you can have. And we're thinking this reward for an activity, but is that causing that child to start to associate certain things, and then conditionally, just like the famous experiment with Pavlov, eventually just the ringing of the bell produced the salvation, right? Or, as some would say, not the. No.
You said the punishment reward system. It's still we still are having that type of dynamic, and it's been in place in 1600.
Yeah.
So the consequences that it has on a child is that they're going to reject all aspects of their own uniqueness to gain alignment with the parents.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the kid will do everything to be aligned with the parents. So if the parents say, if you do that, then you get this. If you don't do that, then I'm going to love you.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually highly conditional dynamic there. And this is what the kid is going to, like most of us are going to go through life with that type of programming.
Okay. And we've got a couple minutes before we can take the break.
Sure.
And I certainly appreciate the wonderful team behind the scenes helping us to have an excellent discussion as we speak to Ms. Stephanie Dos Santos. And I was just thinking back as you were sharing, again, the word relationship. For many of us, we're probably going to make that a romantic relationship, between partners. But earlier, the wonderful Ms. Sventisha Conley was on, and she was talking about the upcoming cardboard, regatta, and here companies using that opportunity as team building to foster a better relationship amongst colleagues. We see companies trying to figure out how they can have a better relationship with their customers.
It's beautiful.
And we need to be able to appreciate that there's that dynamic. Not long ago, and I'm not sure what the title is now, but the customer relationship manager, there's that word in the title. How do you manage that so that it's beneficial, mutually beneficial? So at the core then of relationship is respect and trust.
In relationships?
In relationships.
Well, first, relationships are the essence of who we are as human beings.
Okay.
Because we do depend on one another.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever type of relationship it's going to be, like with friends or professional or romantic.
Yeah. Well, for me, a thought process occurred. We look at a person who has a pet, it's a dog, for instance, and we see how those around say, that dog senses, is the word we would use, the shift in a person's mood, how no matter how this person is feeling, that dog, unconditional, just come and, nubs her nose against the leg, puts the head in the lap, and creates a safety, a bond, a connection. Yet that exists between, two, to the best of my knowledge, two, very different creatures, as it were. Yet the communication, the connection sometimes is much stronger than two humans.
Well, you said the word communication. You see, and one more time, communication we will have with others will be to the same extent to the one we have with ourselves. So if we fail communicating with those internal parts that are fighting, where every time we feel challenging emotions, how are we meant to communicate that to others?
That comes back down to clear communication.
To gain greater self-awareness on how conditional we are with ourselves and how quick we are at wanting to dismiss the negative emotions that we're feeling. So if we feel a strong agitation, it's like, okay, let's have that smoke. Let's take a drink. Let's go to the gym. And everything can become a coping strategy to avoid feeling that challenging emotions. But the thing is, we do need to start approaching that. This is where contentment resides.
All right, so when we come back from our news break, let's talk more and you share how do we get there. One of our listeners weighs in and said, obviously relationships with the employees too, from the management is important. All right, we're going to pause and take a break. When we return, Ms. Stephanie Dos Santos will, instruct us, guide us from our intellect. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Busy, busy, busy. Feel like there's not just enough hours in the day. Savannah Pharmacy, service to make your life easier. Now you can WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. And pickup is just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays. WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. Savannah Pharmacy, wholesome values with modern conveniences.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
And the whole island is one big, big party, party, party.
Little Cayman, the 2022 Pirates Fest season starts with you. November 4th through the 6th with the official kickoff at McCoy's Sunset Bar, Friday the 4th, followed by the float parade. 3 p.m. on the 5th, starting from Southern Cross, costume competition, fireworks show, and don't forget about the Pirates Party at the Hungry Iguana. You know them pirates like a little party, Little Cayman style. Little Cayman Pirates Fest, November 4th through the 6th.
Attention farmers, in the event of a storm, the DOA reminds you to take precautions with identifying and safeguarding livestock. Cattle and horses should be loose in pastures that are not prone to flooding. Other domestic livestock, such as pigs, goats, and chickens, should be kept safe in their pens and cages above flood level. Livestock aged 2 months or less should be secured with their mother in a pen or kept loose with their mother in a safe and sheltered area. For livestock emergencies, call DOA Veterinary Services on 916-2218 in Grand Cayman or 925-5765 Cayman Brack, or email ci.agriculturevs@gov.ky.
Follow Radio Cayman on Twitter. All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Follow us at twitter.com/Radio Cayman.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. Minister of Financial Services, the Honourable Andre Ebanks, is travelling to the Bahamas, London and Brussels on a number of financial services matters. From November 3rd to the 4th, he will attend and speak at the Caribbean Regional Compliance Association Conference in the Bahamas. Minister Ebanks will travel to London for meetings with UK officials following the change in government. He will also meet with financial services stakeholders during a Cayman Finance event hosted by new CEO Steve McIntosh. Following this, he will meet with EU stakeholders in Brussels. In international news, days after Russia suspended support for grain exports through the Black Sea, it has agreed with Turkey to restart its participation in the agreement. Russia accused Ukraine on Saturday of using a safety corridor for grain ships to attack its fleet in Crimea. However, the UN, Turkey, and Ukraine continued sending ships even after Russia halted its support for the deal. Now, Russia's defense ministry says Kiev has given written assurances not to use the route for military action. The UK Prime Minister has reversed an earlier decision not to go to the COP27 climate summit in Egypt. Number 10 had said Rishi Sunak was too busy preparing for the 17th of November budget to attend the event, which opens on Sunday. But this had been widely criticized by climate campaigners, opposition parties, and climate advisors. That's why I will attend COP27 next week to deliver on Glasgow's legacy of building a secure, clean, and sustainable future, he told MPs during Prime Minister's questions. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Water Authority Cayman will conduct leak detection works in Cayman Kai 2nd to 3rd of November between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. as part of ongoing infrastructure works in the area. Customers in the following roads may experience service interruptions during the course of the work, with the interruption lasting no more than 1 hour. Sandpoint Road, Sankola Close, Water Quay from the Sandpoint intersection, Finger Quay Road, Camp Drive, and Kaibo Crescent. The Water Authority apologizes for any inconvenience this interruption service may cause and thanks the public for their patience and understanding.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And thanks to Stephanie Dos Santos for sitting with us. And as we talk about relationships, I share with you during the break, and maybe just out to the listening public, one of our listeners weighed in and shared with us that had worked at a company, for 35 years, and that company felt like a home away from home. Everybody just got along with each other, and as you were sharing, well, wonder why. Well.
Yeah, the question is to ask that person, what do you think the key component was to have such a successful dynamic at work? And it's likely to be communication. We all have each other's back.
It's all important, right? So whether it's employees and the colleagues, or whether you're a business that provides a product or a service and you stand behind it and your clientele feels, I can trust this company. I have an issue, they'll address it. But yet, it would seem that thing is so evident, so obvious that that's what it should be. But yet, it seems difficult. Even the two individuals, whatever that relationship is, unless and until they have that honesty, that trust, that confidence that I got your back.
Honest.
You
see?
Honest. Huh.
Well, mostly like if you're in a structure where you actually don't like what you're doing, that is going to be very hard to do a good job, to feel connected with others, because you will be highly disconnected to yourself by doing something that you don't want to do.
Right. But in that sort of maybe immediate connotation when we have relationships with people. Oh, thank you. The listener responded and says, relationship and honesty.
Voilà.
Well, see, so that
being honest, speaking your own truth, yeah. But the reality is like most of us feel stressed to speak.
Mm-hmm.
We feel stressed to speak our own truth because it's unique, it is different. you know, and we want to be accepted or we want to fit in. But this is how the more we suppress what we want to say, the more we suppress our truth on how we feel in situations, that our consciousness becomes highly fragmented. And this is how you start living with internal enemies. Because there's a part of you that cannot trust the other part of yourself.
Wow.
Right? It's a part that says, I should say that, and the other part that says, better not to. And then you give it to that protective personality that says, better shut up. You know? But the thing is, even if that protective aspect of you is saying, you better shut up because we're going to get rejected, it's not a part that is playing against you. It's still an aspect of you that is there to protect you. And we need to understand that. Very often we feel we have an enemy inside of ourselves. You know, like when we sabotage relationships.
Yeah, we self-sabotage.
Yeah, but if you self-sabotage, if you start like wanting to look at other people or being mean to the person, and you realize like, why am I doing this? It's a great relationship. Why am I displaying such behavior? And you feel like you have an enemy inside, right? But that aspect inside of you that displays those sabotage behavior is there to have your back. How funny, like, I mean, it's not funny, haha, right? But if you stay with that aspect, this aspect is there because it knows that if we go with that relationship, the pain attached to it will be greater than stopping it now or having us rejected.
I almost wanted to attempt, you know, my best friend to say, do not be a saboteur, be a raconteur.
C'est français? Vous parlez français?
And it's the dialogue, it's the honesty, the communication, right? Is it then that you have to have, would it then help if the environment in which you are, there's a shared similarities and connection, so that if there are growing and glaring differences in the people,
well,
would that?
Yes, it does help, but you don't want to wait to have the perfect people, the perfect environment to start being you. You need to be the change you want to see. So you want to embody the type of relationship you want to see, the one you want to have. So if you want to have an honest relationship with people, start being honest with.
You put it out there, it'll come back to you, is what we were saying, then, right?
Yes.
But then that is implicitly, that's expert. You got to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to be vulnerable. That makes you susceptible to be taken advantage of. People will say, wow, you're green, naive.
You see, owning your personal truth, it's boundary work. It's like, knowing yourself. So it's like visualizing a piece of land. You know exactly where to stop. Okay? So once you know yourself, you have your boundaries, you know what you like, what you don't like, what are your thoughts, your feelings in regards to the world, whatever it's at work or relationships. Then you learn, like it comes more naturally. You can say to someone, even if it's someone that you really love, saying, actually, you know what, when you say this, it made me feel like that.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, oh, well, suck it in, I'm not going to say anything. And because we build up resentment, and this is how, if we want it or not, it reinforces the emotional unsafety in the relationship with that person.
And as you speak, and we can see the individual level, but even you can see the global perspective. The world today, that person who asks a question or who makes a statement that seems to go counter to the popular public political view, as it were, is ostracized. Perhaps as a result of that, others are intimidated. Some may be victimized as a result of comments. And it would appear it doesn't matter whether the person who is the sole voice or seemingly the lesser voice is a politician speaking from a national parliament, is a celebrity who has great acclaim, saying, hey, be mindful of this thing. Once it goes against the public narrative, that person then is subjected to ridicule and all sorts of things.
For thinking differently.
So can you imagine if that's happening on the global scale, the macro level?
Yeah.
That individual who's saying, you know what, don't say anything. You're in a meeting, all the staff are in agreement. We should have the the Christmas party at this location, you're going, well, no, I think, what about here? Or it's, let's sell this product, or let's do this. How do you get in that person to have that level of confidence, that level of, whatever it is that they need to be able to hold their space, speak their truth, stand up for what it is that they believe is important?
Give me one situation.
All right, let's think.
Put me in a context.
Context, okay. So it may be, it would be easier to do it in a business context, but let's try to do it in a relationship.
Okay.
So you have two partners, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And one wants to do something, the other does not like that or thinks that something else is a better option. But knowing that if you voice that, or he's going to get indignant, she's going to go bend out of the shape, that one's going to have a protest.
Like the guy wants to go and watch the football with the boys, and she wants to cuddle at home, for example.
If you want, I was going to say, he wants to cuddle at home, and she just wants. No, okay, yeah.
Well, you see, we've been taught that compromising is compromise. To compromise, it's an ingredient in relationship when it's actually a recipe for disaster.
Uh-huh.
Because, like Theo Swan says, to compromise is to say, okay, you take a little bit of pain, darling, and I take a little bit of pain.
Mm-hmm.
We often think that it's either this or that.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's black or white. It's left or right.
Hmm.
But you see, in that context, it's okay. Since, let's say,
mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say it like as if you were my husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I love you, I want you to do the things that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's important for me that you go and enjoy the football. And also it's important for me that I get to spend some time with you.
Mm. Okay.
So then it's about discussing, it's sitting down and it's like, okay, how can we both have our needs met?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe instead of going an hour earlier, you can say, how about I stay for 30 more minutes and we can cuddle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go and watch the match. And then we cuddle for 30 minutes. I feel happy. I feel the connection that I needed. And you happy because you provided what I needed. And then you go and have fun with the boys at watching the soccer match.
So understanding each other's needs.
Yeah. And instead of thinking it's either him or me that sacrifice, it's how about we sit down a few minutes and see how we can work a third option that is going to benefit both of us.
As you said, I was thinking back to an advice I heard someone say that they receive. And I'm mindful of how to phrase it publicly, but it speaks to, he's going to be going out. She reminds him of the love as he's out. Enjoying himself, he's reminded of the love that he has when he returns. And if you give to each other, then both get, no one feels like they've had to sacrifice and lose. They both get and gain.
Because very often that's exactly those words. Most people think like in a relationship, it's a lose or win.
Yeah.
That's why lots of people think once you're in a relationship, it's the rope around your neck. Because you feel that trap feeling. You feel like you will have to give up something from yourself in order to be in a relationship.
But don't we say that in society, at least in the English-speaking Western world? Oh, the old ball and chain. It's the anchor around your neck. We say those things, and I wonder, and if I'm off, please publicly, correct me, but I wonder if we are cognizant of how potentially damaging that is. We're speaking this into being. If this person is the old ball and chain, well, what do you expect to happen? I mean,
I think you're absolutely right. We definitely need to be more mindful of the words we speak. They resonate a frequency or vibration. You can swap that for information.
Okay.
Just to
so speak the positive things. Be mindful of what is real, but
if you feel like that, I mean, if you feel like that, you want to question why you want to be with that person in the first place. Is it convenience? Is it because the fear of aging? Is it whatever it can be on an unconscious level? Fear of lacking of intimacy. I see that a lot on coaching with people.
Intimacy. I like how you say
intimacy. Yeah, intimacy has nothing to do with sex. it's really your ability to hear, to feel, to see, to really understand the other person. So if in Cayman we can really go about our days and every time we interact with people, have the desire to be intimate with that definition that I just said, right? Which is, I want to understand you. So instead of me wanting to, or bringing a judgment onto you, or me wanting you to be a certain way, I will just hold that space for you. So it's like, okay, let's understand Sir Sterling. What is he saying when he says that? What's going on in his mind when he behave like this? This is genuinely about understanding. And from that space only, we will be able to recognize their own uniqueness, appreciate ours, feel more confident in, talking and sharing our truth to others as well.
Interesting. Let me just double check. Do we have to take the break, sir, or we can keep? Okay. Ms. Stephanie, quick short break.
Bien sûr.
And when we come back, who knows what I'll ask. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Subway makes it easy for you to stay on top of your health and wellness goals with our Fresh Fit menu options. Choose from 5 Fresh Fit Subway sandwiches with only 450 calories or less per 6-inch sub. Turkey breast, veggie, oven-roasted chicken, black forest ham, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or make your 6-inch Fresh Fit sub into a salad or wrap prepared with fresh vegetables. For a full menu and nutritional information, visit subway.ky. Subway, eat fresh.
The Heritage Day series, brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, continues with the District of East End, Friday, November 4th from 11 a.m. until late. Celebrate your district and Caymanian heritage with local food, performances, fireworks and more. East End Heritage Day on Seaview Road, Friday, November 4th from 11 a.m. until late.
Fire and fire, sweeping through the fire.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
PiratesFestCayman.com. Get the full 2022 Pirates Fest lineup. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Dwayne Porter will be taking appointments from September 30th until October 8th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email dr.portercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That is 946-9020.
Registration is now open for the 7th annual Meals on Wheels 5K Turkey Trot fundraising run walk. Come trot with us on Saturday, November 26th at Grand Ole House, South Church Street. There are great raffle prizes to be won, finisher medals, trophies, and complimentary continental breakfast to enjoy. Support Meals on Wheels in the fight to end senior hunger in the Cayman Islands. Register today online at www.mealsonwheels.ky or call 769-1974 for details on volunteering for this event. See you at the start line.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. And thanks for joining us. And if you not only listening, but you want to weigh in, thanks to those who have sent their messages through on our WhatsApp. I didn't even share it publicly, so I'm glad that many do that. 9253261. For the 10 minutes or so left of our program, as we speak into the wonderful Stephanie Dos Santos, 9498037, or the floor toll-free line at 1-800-534-8255. We learn a lot if we listen. We learn a lot if we're in an audience where there's something valuable being exchanged if we listen. As you were sharing, it would appear that for many of us, when it comes to relationships, and especially the relationship where we're building intimacy, and I'm glad that you reminded us, that's different from the sexual behavior.
Yeah.
It's the honesty that comes. When we're building that we are seemingly willing to understand the other person, to reflect on us so that we share our truth. Is that the success?
Yeah, because when you look at most of the time when we meet other people, we don't even realize how much we want the other person to see us. So we're not really receptive of what the other person is saying. It's like we unconsciously going to be wanting to be liked or being perceived as a good person. And we're going to fail at really being present, holding space at each turn, that we speak, and really understanding what the other person is all about without judgment.
Without judgment. And then I would imagine, as I cast my mind to your comments, that there may be some of us who find ourselves in a space where to pursue something, that new job, that promotion, perhaps it's, I always wanted to study or learn something, so it's no more than just a hobby initially, but maybe it's something. But that relationship with that other person, the newness and the excitement can be fun, but if it's serious and genuine, you start to look at it and go, wow, it makes you afraid, of what is real.
Well, I think a lot of us get addicted to those butterflies we feel when we meet people. And I think it might have been Buddha that said that when you meet the right person, you don't feel those the heart going faster, because you're tuning into a similar frequency.
It's natural.
We tend to be addicted to feeling strong emotions. It's if I don't feel happy, then I might feel highly disconnected, or I might feel angry, but often I see so many people having contentment, but because it doesn't feel high or super low, it's like, what the heck is going on there?
So then,
am I dead?
Yeah.
Am I feeling it? No, it's contentment. Don't look for highs all the time.
You don't spook to the person. You don't agitate them in a certain way. Is it then that when you say the butterflies, I was thinking infatuation, maybe a word. And when you feel this thing that there isn't that butterfly, it's just natural. That can be scary because it's real. You know that this is something that you always perhaps desired, never knew that it was possible.
Feeling infatuated?
No. That thing where there's that real connection.
Yeah.
The infatuation, we've always, maybe they would call it puppy love or whatever. You feel that thing and you get all giddy and it's fleeting.
Yeah.
But this thing that is real, the person isn't triggered in a way, if that's the word to use. They don't, no matter what, there's an evenness.
Peace.
Contentment.
Yeah.
Huh. Does that come along often, I wonder?
Well, once you start really being present with all aspects of you, it is possible. And even myself, I'm not any different than anybody else. Also with the conscious effort of increasing awareness and addressing even little things that bother me, it makes a whole difference. Because I'm not, dismissing how I feel. So I can actually communicate with people from a place of love, right, for myself, because I think, okay, I do need to communicate that to the other person. Then you create emotional safety.
To create that emotional safety, the communication is important.
Yeah.
The cement for this is love, whether it's the love between parent and child, whether it's love between partners, that love that we have, so that it's genuine, this is unconditional. There are no ulterior motives, right? But then you, the individual in this, are you going to be willing to be honest with yourself and to look within to find out what is it that...
Well, very often we're going to be running away from those type of emotions. Sorry, I was about to say something and I lost it.
It happens. But when you say running, I was thinking of the lyrics of Bob Marley, running away, but you can't run away from yourself, right?
Yeah.
You just can't.
No.
And I think when you talked about the coping mechanisms, many of us don't realize that we have, because for us, they're not destructive. We may see the person who uses alcohol or some other drug as a bad thing, but is it the person who gets up and goes for a physical long run, right?
Comes down to your intention.
Yeah. So then I'm asking, as a society, we see some of us, and perhaps in some societies, more in tune with the vibration, the frequency, the energy with ourselves. And for others to look at that and go, they're not all here. But that person for whom there's that internal honesty, there's that desire to understand what is the conflict, that person enjoys greater contentment. It probably has, more meaningful relationships.
Well, because if you're quick at dismissing other person's emotion, it's likely that you do the same for yourself.
Without realizing.
So you want to feel contentment. Just don't be so quick at wanting to feel different than the challenging emotion you're feeling right now. It's telling you something precious. I swear, every negative emotions hold a diamond. And this is there to promote our own expansion. It's like we are being pushed to look from a different angle. If we don't see it, we need to look at it from a different angle. I talk sometimes to people about some of the trauma, that I've been through as well. But most people think that a trauma, it's a big accident or something violent that happened. The definition of a trauma is then when you have a stressful situation that gives rise to a strong emotion and you have no resolution to it. So what happened, very often traumas happen in childhood, right? Is that your aspect of your consciousness stays stuck in time, back where the trauma occurs. So you're going to grow up as an adult, and you eventually, because God, the universe is expansion, is going to put people or situation on your path that is going to give rise to a trigger. And this trigger is going to be a calling for you to reintegrate that aspect of your consciousness stuck in the past.
And perhaps the trained psychologists and the like would be able to explain it to us better. But as you said, I was just thinking, because we think of trauma as this thing that is, violent or whatever, by what you shared, if we have experienced something in our lives, whether it's early adulthood, whether it was in our childhood, and we didn't get sufficient help, resolution, that could affect us with our future relationships with our partners, our children. Because
so for all kids that have parents that were not very present, the kid's there and he needs the parents, but the parents are not there. So we don't realize this creates a trauma, because within the child's consciousness, there's a split that happens. It's like, hey, daddy, mommy, I need you. But the split that gives rise is the other aspect, the protective aspect that says, you know what? We don't need anyone. We are independent. So then that you can see how the consciousness of that person stays stuck at that moment as a child. And as you grow up, you're going to be challenged to reintegrate that aspect. So you're going to be confronted to a situation where suddenly, you know what, you're going to realize like, oh man, if I want to do that, I actually need someone, right? But in your mind, it's going to be like, oh, if we need, my gosh, it leads to pain. Because we needed them and they were not there for us. So this is how very often unconsciously you're going to have that aspects of you that say, F it, we're not doing it because I want to do things on my own. But the reintegration will be about understanding, okay, I'm aware that I'm, of my internal chat in my brain in that regards. Let's pause a minute. Why do I think I'm so independent? Why do I think actually I don't want that? Because I'm realizing I need that person. And this is where you go into open and vulnerability and stretch, expand by consciously deciding, okay, this time, even if we're scared, we're going to move forward with the fear. And I'm going to tell that person that, yes, actually, I will need her or his help. And this is how, you reintegrate that aspect of your consciousness. You're healing your trauma, basically.
All right. Well, your discussion has been so illuminating and exciting. We've got a request for a few extra minutes. So I'm very grateful. I was thinking
thank you.
The team behind the scenes makes it happen. It's probably become a cliche that, teamwork makes the dream work. But with that, though, as people are listening, and for some, it's a challenging time because of what lies ahead in terms of festivities and the like. For some, it's a challenging time because of what may have immediately transpired in terms of a diagnosis, a passing of someone, or for some reason. And those challenges would affect people's relationships. So how do we speak to them that we look? We always heard, don't point fingers because, one is going that direction, but the others are coming back at you. So never be willing to castigate and criticize unless you have, a viable alternative. Can we share with people how they can look within themselves, how they can develop better relationships? And does that start with a better relationship with themselves?
Yeah. So one thing that you can do is that if you feel an agitation in regards to a conversation, or it's to actually, what really works is to lay down, if you can, a few minutes, and you start breathing. I know we heard so much about breathing, but it does work. We need to give it a proper shot. So you start breathing, and as you start calming yourself, like, okay, I felt trigger there. Why is that? What's happening within me that gives rise to that emotion that I don't like? This is boundary work.
And
so then you start understanding, like, it's I don't know, it's hard to come up with just an example right now.
But if as you share that, when you talk about you as an individual understanding, your boundaries, there are things like, for some of us, we may, without question, say, no, I don't eat that, I don't drink that. It's not an issue. There's no religious or dietary reason. It's just don't, and we're fixed on that. But there are some who would, well, I don't eat it, but I'll make an exception because you cooked it. We're not set with our boundaries, then we feel that we've done ourselves a disservice. That food makes us, our tummy upset, but yet we don't want to offend the person.
This is a flexible boundary. It's a boundary that you're going to drop just to make the person happy. So this is something that I, put onto the workshop as well for anyone that would like to start working, on themselves. It's to first to write down 3 situations or 3 things that people do to you that you don't like. Okay? So you start writing this down. Then on the second question, you're going to write, is there a boundary that I'm crossing in that experience that gives rise to that emotion that I don't like? And then the third question will be, what is the boundary that I should put in place? And then after, usually during workshops, we develop on what are the fears attached to you expressing the boundary. Because very often we feel like we cannot be who we are or speak our truth to people, like that example, but I don't want to offend.
Right.
Well, that fear there is because you may be worried of offending the other person, or the other person's wants are more important than yours.
And yet, as you share that, there are some people, and just casting our mind to different audiences, where they're very conscious. I would say adamant. Listen, I don't eat that thing, or
You don't make me eat cucumbers, man.
Yeah.
No way, I'm eating cucumbers. Doesn't matter how you cook them.
Yeah, this is it, and it's for someone. It's a reason. It's nothing to do with things that people would accept. Oh, I didn't realize you were allergic to this or had an intolerance, or I don't mean to offend your religion. It's just a personal choice for whatever that reason is. And yet when that person holds that space, says, sorry, I like cooked cucumbers and I don't care how tasty you, or whether you blend it with a smoothie, I don't want it. There are some people who will go, see, who does she think she is, and not
But that's
respect
fine.
that.
But then you're not my people. And I do understand that it feels like a bit of a solitary path, when you choose you. It's such a worthy path, though, because you're empowering yourself and you start attracting people that are similar to you on this higher frequency.
Huh. And
you have healthier relationships instead of feeling that you have to compromise yourself all the time with that crowd that is around you.
Pleasing people then.
That's terrible. That's the best way to create to yourself a level of anxiety through the roof.
But yet, we used the word earlier, compromise, right? And I've always looked at that word and I thought, there has to be a better word, because there is that negative connotation.
So bad. In relationship, that is the ingredient for disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're going to resent your partner if all the time you think that she's winning, because it feels like a zero-sum game.
And it's not, huh?
No, it should be about love.
Oh.
Right? I'm taking your best interest as part of mine. It's not you sacrificing yourself for me.
Can I, as you said that, can I ask, and hopefully properly, right? There's a word service. And something I read way back when that made me come of this perspective. If people are of service to others, they're not subservient, they're not enslaved. If people give, all that they have to something, and everybody does that, everybody would get, a floating tide, right? Raises all ships, right? A rising tide floats all ships. But for some, if you're in a relationship and you serve the other person's interests, that may not be the right word, but and you do, as you said, other
take
love.
into account the other person's best interests. You take them as part of yours. It doesn't mean that you put them above yours. Okay? This is the difference too. It's not like that, how do you say, like selflessness, where I give up completely who I am or what I want, what is important for me. So like that, I'll be like, people will see how generous and amazing I am. It's highly unhealthy. And when the person doesn't give you what you want, you become like so upset and resentful.
So each give to the other.
Yeah.
Taking account of the others. And
if you take care of my best interest, you don't have to worry about yours because I've got yours.
Yeah. But yet there are some who would just take, and they'll be happy to receive it. They'll take, but they don't reciprocate. They don't give anything back.
Well, maybe it's maybe they're unaware of that, and maybe you can just start communicating to the person. It feels a bit unbalanced, or whatever you feel at that moment. Put words on that feeling, and very important though, you communicate that to the other person the same way you will want the person to talk to you. So you have a level of you're stretching in your consciousness in compassion, because it's like, okay, I want to communicate that to that person because it does not make me happy. Also because I value the person. What is the best way for me to communicate that to them? How would I want the person, if the role were reversed, how would I want the person to share that with me? Right.
But this sounds almost academic. I can imagine people listening now say, yeah, but even if I struggled and found the words to communicate, I don't like this is what I like, or this is how I feel, that the other party, right, I'm thinking of the partners in that relationship, the expectation will be an argument, not of a case of, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that, and then there's this dialogue. There'll just be this,
because the person is feeling attacked, is taking it personally. It's not really holding that space for the partner to express how uncomfortable she or he felt at that moment of what the person said or did or did not do or say.
Then I think, as I listen to what I'm hearing increasingly, is that we as the individual need to look within and try to figure out, well, how do I communicate, but how do I receive what is being shared?
Well, it's touching base with your feelings, right? A lot of people, they not really aware of the emotions, but your physical body is going to speak. So you feel tensions in your shoulders, in your body, in your tummy. It's cramping. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's tension there. Let's tune back into my body. Let's put one hand in my belly, one on my chest, close my eyes, and just breathe deeply. And you bring the air on your stomach, right? It makes a whole difference that has that ability to calm you down ASAP.
It's interesting that you referenced a couple of times about breathing.
Yep.
And I know that there are many who, through different sort of exercise practices, but even in sort of corporate settings, we can have a deep breathing exercise. Everybody stand up and we do it, but we don't consciously do it and we don't necessarily understand the impact. But yet, increasingly from what I've been reading, loosely, I just generally say, within the sort of the medical community, deep breathing and breathing is useful.
Yes.
How do we get people to understand that this is a practice of the centuries?
Well, when people are getting sick of bumping into the same problems, maybe they're going to give it a try in the breathing. Yeah, but that's true. You want to increase awareness. You feel a strong agitation. The first thing that I said is like, okay, touch back into your body. Just go back into your breathing. So you can calm yourself down. So you can therefore see yourself, analyze and take the time, be patient with yourself to word what's going on. And sometimes at first it can take a few hours, sometimes the whole morning or the whole afternoon. That's fine. Keep going.
And that's amazing. Well, let me ask, my good friends behind the scenes, Mr. Paul, we still can chat and continue. You tell us when. Miss Stephanie Dos Santos is our guest. A breathing exercise, is that something that we could perhaps invite our listeners to do along with us? It's 2:45 thereabouts on a Wednesday afternoon.
How to do a breathing exercise?
Yeah, is that something we can do on air?
Well,
how do we try that? No? Okay, everybody, you have to breathe. But
you can do that. So wherever you are, even if you're sitting, you're going to place one hand on your tummy. Just below your ribs, and one on your chest. Okay, and you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to breathe 5 seconds and put the air in your belly.
No, does it in your mouth, nose? Does it matter which?
By the nose, and you can exhale by the mouth. Okay. If you're super agitated, you might be able to take only 3 seconds in. Right? If you're super agitated, you breathe in 3 seconds and exhale 5 or 6. A long exhale is definitely going to calm you down. And you're going to do that until you definitely feel the tensions of your body starting to...
Yeah. And I've had, and thank you for sharing this, I've actually had someone who, it was shared by someone that was well regarded and thought, it's just foolishness, but decided to try it. Was at the office one day, just couldn't get the email system to work. There was all sorts of, little things happening, and heard a voice, just take a breather, and literally, and I was amazed that he relayed a very positive just by, breathing.
But that's why, how to help people. I mean, we know. Yeah. It's your choice now. You just choose to give it a try, or you don't.
Nothing beats it.
But we all the same, and it works for everyone. So now it's how much resistance are you going to put between what's going on the state and that awesome technique that works for everyone.
Something that you shared, I think, in the past, that many of the physical ailments that we experience, how are they connected to
Well, your soul manifested itself physically, right? So, because there's so many aspects that we're unaware of, your body is going to speak. So, for example, there was this client with a knee problem, the left knee, and listening to his story, for that man, it was definitely a resistance in moving forward in life, listening to his heart. That's why that was the left knee. But all aspects of your body have its own consciousness. So it feels strange, right? But because we have one consciousness of the name of Sterling, Stephanie, Mike, whatever, but we are a whole ecosystem. So the lungs, for example, it's relationships. So if for people that develop lung cancer, it's probably about looking into relationships because there's a definite huge sense of powerlessness. So knees, it's your ability to move forward. I work with great resource book actually, and it's from Jacques Martel, and it really helps you understanding the connection between your soul and your body. So even if it's your eyes, your teeth, your nose, your ears. This girl yesterday, she was like, I've got problem on my ears, and I did a bit of energy work on her, and I got the message in the same time as her, and I said, is there something you refuse to hear? And she said, that's so weird, because this is exactly the message that I got. There's something that I don't want to listen to. So there's...
It's a connection, huh?
There is.
Yeah. And we've seen how the pressure points to the bottom of the feet sometimes. Yeah. But again, we help people to look at things and try our best to understand, and then hopefully improve, within our own mindset, our willingness to approach these things. It's definitely always a pleasure. I learn a lot every time we chat. Any closing thoughts you may want to leave with our listeners? Any final words from Stephanie Dos Santos?
Final words?
No, not final, but final.
Final word. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
No, just keep tuning. Please just become aware of the conditional relationship you have with yourself. And even if sometimes it's really challenging, you don't have to sit with challenging emotions by yourself. Have someone helping you processing what it means, and to help you see the diamond that the challenge is he's holding, because everything that are happening for us.
Yes, it is a silver lining along every dark cloud, so there's a diamond in every negative. Well, thank you. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
And thanks to the team for allowing us to utilize the time. Please come back tomorrow for more Talk Today right after the midday news and midday meditation. Got a couple of things in store for you. As you go about the roads, recognize that they are potentially slippery because it is wet. So be safe. Until then, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331.
Talk Today is proudly brought to you by Pirates Fest 2022. Stay in the know. Get the full event lineup at piratesfestcayman.com.
And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village. Convenient opening hours